right, so Adam Gase, Broncos offensive coordinator the last couple of years, has been named the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. So he is reuniting with John Fox in Chicago. He'll be calling plays for Jay Cutler and Matt Forte and the rest of the Chicago Bears. And joining us right now on the phone line is longtime sports columnist from the Chicago Sun-Times and a longtime contributor to Sports Illustrated, Rick Telander. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Les. I'm doing great.
Hello, Rick. It's Woody. Let's start it off. I have a statement to make to you. You're going to love Adam Gase because he is so media-friendly and so fan-friendly.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you've had the opportunity to meet him yet, but he will go off in the corner and talk to you for an hour and a half and tell you everything you want to know. So you'll love Adam Gase from that standpoint. But do you think it doesn't matter whether you like him, whether Les likes him, whether I like him, we all like him? It only matters if one person likes him.
Yeah, Mr. Cutler?
Yes, that would be Mr. Cutler, yes.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd just like to say thank you. We in Chicago, all we do is get whatever you send us from Denver. So you've got, you've got the earlier history with Gase, with Fox, with Cutler. And so nobody has quite figured out what Cutler really likes. We are kind of baffled by him. He does seem to have grown a little bit in the last couple of years. Got 2 kids and everything, but he's still just kind of an odd guy, and I'll even ask occasionally, does he have a problem controlling his diabetes, type 1 diabetes, and everybody insists that no, he doesn't. So, we just kind of rule that out, but I hope he gets along with Gase. This will be I think his 5th offensive coordinator since he got to Chicago. So, 4th or 5th, Mike Tice and Mike Bart, and I don't know if he had Ron Turner. I can't remember all the guys he's had. So, that's tough for him right there. But I think the big decision is, do they keep Cutler? And he's got a huge contract, and somebody'd have to trade for him. But I think they will, and I think it'll be up to Gase to try to, get his attention.
Rick, I do think, and I'm spacing on his name too, the second coordinator for Cutler was the reason why he was so upset in Denver, that his offensive coordinator was fired when Josh McDaniels came in. And he went to USC or UCLA, and then he came to the Chicago Bears because they said, let's go get the guy that he really was comfortable with in Denver. Anybody?
Is this Woody?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I didn't know. You guys don't identify yourself. Hi, Woody.
Oh, I thought I said Woody at the beginning. You probably couldn't hear me, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. I think the second offensive coordinator. It's great to talk to you, Rick. I'll see you next week. We'll tell some stories about a common enemy that we have.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, no, we won't. That's as far as we're going down that line. But the reaction from the websites, your newspapers, and others that I've seen is that Fox is considered a great hire. Do you share that? Do you share that opinion? And what has been your initial reaction to what he has said since he's gotten to Chicago?
Well, it's been virtually 100% in favor of him. The city is kind of giddy with joy over getting him. And I haven't been. I don't like to be a contrarian, and I don't know if I've been a voice of dissent. But I just have said, look, the guy is leaving Denver. Things didn't work out there. He's never won a Super Bowl. He's been to them. He seems to have done a very good job. You had a great roster in Denver, and you had a Hall of Fame quarterback. And, we all saw that last game was pretty terrible. The finish of the last 3 seasons hasn't been that great. So it's just a little cautionary note that I'm trying to throw in there. I think he is truly a professional coach, which, believe it or not, is a rarity in Chicago. For a half century, the Bears haven't had a guy who had been a head coach before. They just kept taking one coordinator after the other. And in Mike Ditka's case, a special teams coach. So everybody's just, completely joyful that the Bears finally got a guy who's got some head coaching experience. And the thing I pointed out the other day in a column was, maybe it's not the coordinators you're picking. Maybe it's not that coordinators can't do it. Maybe it's the ones that you're actually picking. Because Mike Holmgren was a coordinator, and Bill Parcells was a coordinator, and John Gruden was a coordinator, and Tom Coughlin was a coordinator. They all seem to do okay with their first coaching jobs. So it's not so much what the person's past is, it's what his future is going to be. And that's all I'm curious about. If Fox to be 60, you hope he still has the fire in the belly. You hope he still gets the guys he wants. Even with Adam Gase, we kind of wonder, or I kind of wonder, is Gase coming along? He was a head coaching candidate just, a few days ago. Is he coming along thinking that, if Fox fails, he'll move into the head coaching spot? There's all kinds of little details like that, where everybody's looking for a job, and it's, it's like musical chairs right now.
Rick, it's Les. Adam Gase was questioned a little bit here. He was questioned for his play calling this year because the team really never found a rhythm. And Adam actually admitted that to me, that this team never found an offensive rhythm this year. And some people are wondering how good Adam Gase can be without Peyton Manning. They're even questioning whether or not he can adjust to a different type of quarterback. And Jay Cutler is certainly a different type of quarterback than Peyton Manning. Gase, everybody has to remember, was the quarterback's coach here when Tim Tebow was the quarterback. And even though Adam did not want to go to that college-oriented running style offense, he did do it for Tim Tebow, and they had some success here. So knowing that Gase is flexible and can provide Jay Cutler with a scheme he's comfortable with, is Jay Cutler going to be salvageable there?
Well, that's the big question. Well, we hope so. Everybody knows he's got great talent. Josh McCown was with the Bears, and we asked him. He was filling in for Cutler last year, a year ago, and we said, "Did you see yourself as a starter?" And he says, "Oh no." And we said, "Well, why?" And he said, "Well, have you seen that guy's arm?" And that was a starting quarterback. McCown was doing pretty well. McNown, I get we had Josh McCown, we had Cade McNown, whatever. But you know who I'm talking about. And he did quite well, but he was just marveled at Cutler's arm strength. So, and usually accuracy. But he has, some reason he has a tremendous amount of turnovers. Now, what it seemed was encouraging was John Fox saying about the quarterback position that you can, it's really in certain ways no more important than any other position because all 11 players have to do their job, or else nothing's going to work. So if that's the case, maybe you can turn Cutler into a game manager as opposed to a guy that you need to lead the way. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers, which again is the great nemesis here in this, in this North Division. That you have to beat the Packers, and you have to beat Aaron Rodgers. And if it weren't for that flukiest game I've ever seen in my life, the Packers would be in the Super Bowl right now. But that's really the issue. And I don't know how much Cutler, how late in life can a leopard change its spots?
Well, that's what I was going to say, Rick. When you're talking about game manager, he'll never be a game manager in his career. He's not a game manager type. If you could put his body, as I said here the other day, if you could put his body with Brian Griese's head, then you'd have a perfect kind of quarterback because Brian Griese was one of the smartest. He played with the Bears. He was one of the smartest quarterbacks ever came in the league and worked harder than most people who are in the league, but he didn't have the body to be a very good quarterback, and he admitted that. He said, my body failed me. Cutler's got the body. It's whether he's got the mind for the game. I will say this, Rick, a question that I think the Bears got a great coach in John Fox to get you to the, quote, next level.
Who's putting together a pretty good coaching staff,
and that's where I was going. That not only Adam Gase, who I think is a very outstanding young coordinator, and I think he just didn't get a head coaching job because people thought he was too young, but you got a defensive coordinator that I think was one of the best in the league that I wanted the Denver Broncos to try and hire. So it looks like you've got the trunk of what could be a very good Chicago Bears organization now.
Well, we would love that, I'll tell you, because Chicago's used to, in general, not having that. And people come into Chicago, whether, generally in baseball, and, they think they've got a chance, generally with the Cubs, and they leave, like, with their hat on sideways, babbling to themselves, on a donkey, going back to the insane asylum, because something here drives them crazy. And the expectations for the Bears are just massive. They dwarf any of the other teams, the Bulls, the Sox, the Cubs. It doesn't matter, the Blackhawks. The Bears are what everybody cares about. And so if you win, the Bears went 5-11, if Fox and these guys can do it, I mean, this will seem like a truly professional team that is not experimenting with a Canadian Football League coach, not trying to get something out of a coordinator who's too young and hasn't done it. But it seems like they did everything right. That worries me. It's like it's quiet. It's too quiet. There's something bad hiding behind the bushes.
A final question, Rick. You are a long-distance observer, as we are. What's going on with the Patriots, and what do you think really happened?
Oh my God! Like, first of all, I was misinformed, or I misunderstood. I thought they were deflating the balls for the Colts, so a deflated ball is not what you want. But then now I learned they deflated their own balls because those are easier to throw and easier to catch. But I guarantee you they're harder to kick. Now, I don't know if they got a different bag for kicking balls.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, well, somebody's sitting there, and they've got a towel over the balls, and they've got a little needle, and they're putting it in there like you're inoculating a baby.
Like Sammy Sosa, Rick.
Well, I was there the night that his court bat exploded, and so, there went my innocence, my naivete, my blessed childishness and, belief system shattered on that night. And so 2003, June, I think it was June 3rd, 2003. So I've never been the same. Never trusted anybody again.
Hey, Rick, want to thank you for your time. Always love talking to you and spending time on the phone with you as we have the last few weeks.
One of America's great columnists.
Yeah. And are you going down? Are you going on to Super Bowl?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, we'll see you down there. Woody and I are going to be doing the show from down there.
Can't wait.
All right.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
I love you guys. See you,
right.
See you, Woody. Bye.
Yep.